Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0-18 here, and welcome back to the Pokemon Speedrun Challenge, where I beat a Pokemon game with any Pokemon as fast as possible. Last time I did this challenge with Nidoqueen and Leaf Green version, and that went mostly okay, but it's had its frustrating moments. Today, our challenge is, how fast can we beat Pokemon Red with the Vileplume line? Before we get into this challenge, let's go over the rules. 1. I can only use my main Pokemon in battle unless I cannot hit the opponent with any move I have at that point in the game. Switching a Pokemon into battle is alright, as long as it doesn't use any attacks to do damage or lower stats. All attacks on opposing Pokemon must be done only with my main Pokemon. 2. No glitches or manipulations. There are some exploits allowed according to the speedrun.com moderators for Pokemon Red. The only exploits we can use is the Marowak Pokédoll skip, X-accuracy exploit, digging within certain buildings as escape ropes, and instant text. The instant text exploit is basically when you talk to the bike salesman before having a voucher and spam B. The game never bothers to reset the flag to make text instant and lasts until you open a menu. The game just doesn't do this by default, and it's not the player's own doing. The reason these are allowed on the leaderboards is because the moderators don't view these as glitches, since these are intended effects in the game, since the player isn't purposefully screwing anything up like the old man glitch. It's just Gen 1 being Gen 1. 3. I am allowed to save before tough battles or anything else I need to save before. This run is timed with in-game time, so I am allowed to do this since I don't want some Pokemon to be far behind where they can be just because of some bad luck. Also, if you happen to like this series, as well as everything else I do on my channel, feel free to follow my socials. Links are in the description. So with that out of the way, how fast can I beat Pokemon Red with the Vileplume line? Let's find out. To start the run, Professor Oak in the intro literally sends out Vileplume. I did not fake this or keep trying ROMs until I get this one. This was the first ROM I randomized with Oddish replacing Bulbasaur. That is just damn funny. I named myself and my rival A to save time for when the game types out names, which will save us a lot of time in the end. I also take the PC potion for the first rival fight, just in case. If we don't need it, then later we're going to need every potion we get. I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to change Bulbasaur to Oddish. I always replace the grass starters in this challenge to be consistent. Not because Oddish is a grass type as well, but that's just the precedent I set in my previous run. Until level 28, Oddish's only attacking move via level up is Absorb, and is the only move we have, so I just spam it. This does take a while since the game has to display the text, sucked health from enemy Charmander, and not very effective, which makes me glad I have battle animations turned off. After that, I get a potion from the guy who still doesn't know where the mart is. Dude, you do know there's no Pokemart anywhere near here, right? Right? Anyway, I get the parcel, give it to Oak, grind to level 7 on Wild Rattata on Route 1, and go straight to Viridian Forest. I fight the first bug catcher, use up all my Absorb on him, and finish him with Struggle. I will be using Struggle to take out the final bug catcher, since Weedle double resists grass, especially with Absorb being weak. Struggle is mandatory. When I get to Pewter, I heal at the center to restore Absorb PP, buy 4 Pokeballs and 8 potions. I then go to Brock and just spam Absorb on him and he's done. Next, on the first bug catcher, I spam all my Absorb and kill the rest of his Pokemon with Struggle once Absorb ran out. I use Struggle on the youngster as well as the second bug catcher. After the second bug catcher, I heal up at the center to recover Absorb PP, defeat the final bug catcher with Poison Powder and Absorb, catch the Spearow, defeat the last nearby with Absorb, healed at the center, and went out inside Mount Moon. Now, I have a lot to do here. I need Oddish to evolve into Gloom at level 21 before I fight the mandatory rocket fight at the end, since he has a Zubat, which will be impossible to take down at the level I am now. On the first trip through Mount Moon, I battle and defeat the last near the sign, the super nerd near a potion which I pick up, as well as the rare candy and escape rope. I teach Bide to Oddish, and I head out, heal at the center, and go back in. On my second trip through, I defeat any Geodude I see since they give about 100 experience each, which is very helpful and mandatory since all the easy trainers here aren't enough experience to evolve. I go straight to the hiker near the Moonstone, defeat him with Absorb, and get to the Rocket Grunt right after him. I have to kill him or eliminate most of his health with Bide, but the thing is, he's faster than me, so I have to not let him kill me, but I still need Bide to store energy. This took a couple tries, but on the winning fight, I get attacked with Tail Whip, I use Bide, then he uses Quick Attack, and then Tackle on me, leaving me at 12 HP left, and then I attack him with Bide, winning the fight, giving me almost 400 experience, which I really needed. I teach Sleep Powder to Oddish over Stun Spore, and I escape rope out of Mount Moon. I heal at the center again and go back in Mount Moon. I use the rare candy on Oddish to get him to level 20, go down the first ladder taking me to a small room with a Rocket Grunt. I battle the Grunt when I enter. I kill Sandshrew in one hit with Absorb and Rattata in 2 absorbs, but Zubat was quite difficult. I use Bide, let Zubat hit 2 Leech Lives on me, and I deal about 3/4 of his health. Then I put him to sleep and spam Absorb. The reason I said that Zubat can be difficult is that Zubat can confuse me with Supersonic or wake up from sleep early. Or he could heal his health back up with Leech Life. So at least it went easy this time. I grab the HP up at the end before going back up, and I go to the bug catcher near where the potion was, and I spam Absorb on him. After this fight, I go out and heal up again, and go towards the final Rocket Grunt, the mandatory one. Right before him, I catch a Paris to use Cut with later, and I defeat one final Geodude to get to level 21 to evolve Oddish into Gloom. It's time. I go straight to the mandatory rocket fight near the end, and I knock out his Rattata easy, but his Zubat was frickin' tough. Really tough. My Bite attack didn't do too much at the start, and would always keep waking up way too quickly from Sleep Powder. After a little bit, I deal a great deal of damage with Bide. After that, it healed up half of the damage I dealt to it with Leech Life. I put it to sleep, heal up, and used Absorb until it woke up. When it did, I used Bide, but it did not damage Zubat due to it using 3 failed Supersonics in a row. I don't know whether to call that good or bad luck, to be honest. I then decided to just put Zubat to sleep and just absorb it to death. Good god, that was hard. Had to use quite a few potions. After that Rocket Grunt, I defeated the Super Nerd by biting his Grimer, absorbing his Voltorb, and then biting his Coughing. I took the Helix fossil since it is the quickest fossil to take. Sorry guys, speedrunners don't take dome fossils. After spending a half hour Mount Moon, I leave and get to Cerulean City. The first thing I do is heal at the center, obviously. Gloom needs a rest, come on, I know I'm speedrunning, but I'm not cruel. And then go straight to Misty's gym. Misty goes down to a few Absorb. I don't know what else you were expecting. Do you think we're done with the grinding? Oh hell no. We need to do a lot more training similar to Mount Moon. We need to get to level 28 to learn Acid because the final last has 2 Oddish. Absorb will do nothing to it, and it would take way too long to get Struggle since I have 4 moves total. The quickest way is to do early grinding so I can defeat her, as well as other trainers after her. After I defeat Misty, I heal up, sell TM11 Bubble Beam, and my 2 remaining Pokeballs, and then I buy 15 potions since we're gonna need these, as well as 3 repels for Rock Tunnel later. The first trainer I thought was my rival. His Pidgeotto can be a pain with Sand Attack, but I just put him to sleep and spam Absorb on it. His Abra and Rattata go down pretty easily with Absorb, and his Charmander wasn't too difficult. His Ember was pretty weak, so it wasn't too hard to take him down with just a few Absorbs. After that, I heal up at the center, and I defeat all the Route 24 and 25 trainers. All of them. I would defeat them all by using Absorb, and sometimes with the aid of Poison or Sleep Powder on almost all the Pokemon. The only Pokemon I did not use Absorb on was the Rocket Grunt Zubat, which I used Bide to do most of the damage. I did try and use Bide on the youngster's Zubat on the Nugget Bridge, but it failed, so I just stuck with using Sleep Powder and absorbing it to death. After defeating the final trainer on Route 25 before the final last, I was supposed to go to level 28, but didn't. I didn't know why at first, but then I realized I forgot to pick up the rare candy in Cerulean, so I went back, picked it up, and taught Acid to Gloom over Bide, and then I just breezed through that last. Oops. I get the SS ticket from Bill, and then I walk back to Cerulean City. I then defeated the Innocent Bystander and go to the underground path on Route 5 where I get the hidden full restore for safety. When I get to Vermilion, I buy 3 Awakenings and 4 Paralyzed Heals from the Mart, and then I go straight to the SS Anne. On the SS Anne, I go get TM08 Body Slam for later. Gloom can't learn Body Slam, but Vileplume can, so I hold on to this for now. The rival was much easier than last time with Acid. I still put the Pidgeotto to sleep so it doesn't sand attack me, and everything else he had was very easy to take down. I get the HM for Cut from the seasick old man, as my rival described him, get off the boat, teach Cut and Dig to Paris, and go into Surge's gym. On Surge, he basically went down to just Acid. I just spat acid in his face and he gave me the Thunder Badge and surrender. Nice. After I defeat Surge, I get the bike voucher, dig back to Cerulean City since digging within buildings is allowed, and I get the bike. I bike all the way to Rock Tunnel and go through it without Flash, since Flash is for noobs. Only real pros can go through this cave without Flash. After escaping Rock Tunnel, I defeat the Gambler on Route 8 and go to Celadon City through the underground path. When I get to Celadon City, I heal at the center and go to the department store. What I do here is on the second floor, I sell the HP up I got from Mount Moon since I need all the money I can get, my Nugget, and TM24 Thunderbolt, and then I buy 10 Super Repels. On the third floor, I get the TM for counters since I can sell it for 1,000 Pokédollars, which are gravely needed. On the fourth floor, I sell the TM for counter, and then I buy 2 Pokédolls and 1 Leaf Stone. On the fifth floor, I buy 3 X accuracies, 5 X specials, 13 X speeds, and 23 X attacks. I go to the top floor and use the remainder of my money to buy a water bottle for the Saffron City guard later. After that, I go get the HM Fly, and I rearrange the items in my bag. While in the process, I evolve Gloom with the Leaf Stone, teach Fly to Spearow, teach Body Slam to Vileplume over Sleep Powder, and fly to Celadon City. I bike down to the Celadon gym, and I defeat Erica by Body Slamming Victory Bell and Vileplume while using Acid on Tangela, getting the Rainbow Badge and the TM for Mega Drain, which I really need since Absorb sucks. After I get out of Erica's gym, I fly to Lavender Town, heal at the center, and fight my rival. He was just simply a breeze. I used 1 X attack, Body Slam Pidgeotto, Acid Execute, Body Slam Gyarados, Acid Kadabra, and Body Slam Charmeleon. Easy peasy. I used a Super Repel and go through Pokemon Tower while using Acid on Ghastly. I picked up the Elixir on the second floor, as well as the hidden one on the next floor, of course. Then I healed at the healing pad, taught Mega Drain over Absorb, picked up the rare candy, and battled Marowak. And by battle, I mean just Pokédoll it like a pussy, cause I am. I'm a speedrunner, okay? Sometimes I gotta use the cheap way out, but only if it's the fastest way. The rocket grunts on the top floor all went down easily, and I got the Poké Flute from Mr. Fuji. After I get the Poké Flute from him, I fly to Celadon City, heal up, piss off the Snorlax so much he just runs from me, get the hidden rare candy and PP up on Cycling Road, and go to the Pokemon Center in Fuchsia. I deposit a bunch of HMs and key items I don't need, since in routing, I would always run out of bag room, so I do this so it doesn't happen. After that, I go to the Safari Zone, get the full restore for safety, get the protein, then get the gold teeth, TM32 double team, and then the HM for Surf. After I get Surf, I dig out of the Safari Zone because this is Gen 1, and I can go straight to the gym. The Psychic type trainers in here weren't too bad, although one of them kept switching back and forth between Drowsy and Kadabra for no damn reason at all. Gen 1. When I get to Koga, I use 2 X attacks on Coughing and just body slam all of his Pokemon for the win. When I defeat Koga, I use up my rare candies, get strength from the Gold Tooth Warden, and then I fly to Celadon City. I heal up and bike to Silphco, where I go fight rival number 5. This rival wasn't too bad. I used 1 X speed and 4 X attacks, and then I body slam all but Execute, whom I use Acid on. After that, I get the free Lapras so I can teach Surf and Strength to it later. Giovanni, after that, had his Nidorino, Kangaskhan, and Nidoqueen all go down to Body Slam, while Rhyhorn went down to Mega Drain, making the fight go very quick. After that, I dig out of Silphco and fly to Pallet Town. When I get there, I teach Surf and Strength to Lapras, surf all the way down to Cinnabar Island, and go inside the mansion. When I get in there, I get the TM for Blizzard, the secret key, and both rare candies on the bottom floor. After I get the secret key, I dig out back to Celadon City, used up the protein and all my rare candies on Vileplume, and biked to Saffron City. Before I went to Sabrina, I went to the copycat's house, gave her my second Pokédoll, and got the TM for Mimic, which I'll teach to Vileplume over Poison Powder. This move will be very helpful to us later. You'll see. When I battle Sabrina, she was quite tricky to deal with since Vileplume is part Poison type after all. I defeat her first 2 Pokemon with Body Slam, then I use 2 X attacks and 2 X speeds and defeat Venomoth with Acid and Alakazam with Body Slam. This fight took me 2 tries since on the first attempt, Kadabra kills me with Psychic. See what I mean by difficult? I just wish in Gen 1 Poison types weren't weak to Bug, then Venomoth wouldn't be such a huge deal, but Gen 1. I dig out of Sabrina's gym, heal at Celadon, and fly to Cinnabar Island, where I go battle Blaine. On Blaine, all I did was use an X speed and 3 X attacks, and spam Body Slam on his Pokemon. This fight took me several tries since I kept getting burned, which weakened my Body Slam move. After I defeat Blaine, I fly to Viridian City, and then go to Giovanni's gym. I used Mega Drain on the first trainer with Rhyhorn, bringing my health back to full, saving me time from going to the Pokemon Center. Then, when I get to Giovanni, I use an X speed, X accuracy, and then I used Mimic on Giovanni's Rhyhorn, mimicking Horn Drill, which I used to kill everything he had. See why Mimic is going to be helpful here yet? If not, then you'll definitely see it at the Elite Four. After Giovanni, I heal at the center and battled Rival 6. I started the fight by using 2 X speeds, 1 X accuracy, and spam Body Slam and Acid on Pidgeot. Then I mimicked Horn Drill on Rhyhorn and spammed it from there. Nice. Reminds me of the any % glitchless route in Pokemon Red speedrunning with Nidoking. God damn, Nidoking is overpowered. After that pathetic fight is over, I go to Victory Road, avoid all the trainers, and get to the Pokemon League. I deposit my Lapras and Paris into the PC, keeping my Spearow for later, and I sell any TMs I have, as well as anything I can part with so I can get as many full restores as I can. I take a deep breath before going into the Elite Four. Let's do this shit. On Lorelei, I switch to Spearow to tank an Aurora Beam, and switch back to Vileplume. The reason is that Dewgong will always use Aurora Beam turn 1, then rest turn 2, buying me a turn to stock up on X items. After Dewgong used rest, I used 2 X specials, 1 X speed, and spam Mega Drain on all her Pokemon. It's nice having an easy Lorelei fight for once after what happened with Nidoqueen. Oh god. On Bruno, I used 2 X attacks on Onix, then I spam Mega Drain on them, and then on his fighting types I used Body Slam. Pretty easy, but this won't last long. On Agatha, Mega Drain and Acid would do far too little damage, and Body Slam can't hit ghost types. So I use Mimic on Gengar to copy its Nightshade, which will always do the same amount of damage as my level, so it'll do nicely. I use an elixir halfway through the fight since I need tons of Nightshade to kill everything, more than I was given. What a nice strat. I'm glad Vileplume can learn this, otherwise I'd be screwed. I elixir after that fight and go to Lance. On Lance, I do something even nicer. I use an X speed and 5 X attacks, and then I mimic Hyper Beam from Gyarados, allowing me to kill everything but Aerodactyl in one hit with Hyper Beam. On Aerodactyl, I Mega Drain first, since Aerodactyl can shrug off a Hyper Beam after 5 X attacks. The reason I don't recharge is because in Gen 1, if Hyper Beam kills an opponent, they don't recharge. Like I said, Gen 1 being Gen 1. After Lance, I heal up, used an elixir, and went to the final champion battle. On the final champion fight, I used 2 X speeds, 1 X accuracy, and 2 X attacks, and I take out Pidgeot with 2 body slams, and Alakazam with just 1 body slam. When Rhydon comes out, you know what happened next. I just mimicked Horndrill and just swept the floor with him giving me the win. This speedrun was actually quite fun near the end, but it really wasn't fun near the start. But it definitely picked up after that. Literally almost 35% of this whole speedrun was spent way before talking to Bill and getting the SS ticket. That is such a slow start. But with that out of the way, I beat Pokemon Red with an in-game time of 3 hours and 12 minutes and a real-life time of 3 hours, 30 minutes, 39 seconds. So, how do I rank Vileplume? I rank all Pokemon in these speedrun challenges into 3 categories. 1, their moveset, 2, their stats, and 3, how well they performed overall, and then I give an average rating based on those scores. First of all, their moveset. Oddish, Gloom, and Vileplume have identical learnable movesets via level up as well as TMs. Vileplume is able to learn Body Slam, but not Gloom for some reason, which would have been helpful to have. Other than Body Slam, these 3 Pokemon have almost no good moves via level up that I could learn, nor TMs either. I was stuck with Absorb until level 28 for crying out loud. There was Mimic, which really helped me in the end, but almost every Pokemon in Gen 1 can learn it, so that doesn't really count for me. So I give them a 2 out of 10 on the moveset. It has very little variety in moves, and I had terrible coverage throughout this game. For stats, Oddish, Gloom, and Vileplume have a base stat total of 320, 395, and 480 respectively, with their strongest stat being Special Attack, which only helped me out when using Mega Drain or Absorb. It did not help me much in this run since almost all of my good moves were physical attacks, which these 3 Pokemon don't have the stats for. Also, their speed stat is so horrendously bad, making me use 2 X speeds on some fights just to outspeed anything. So for stats, I give them a 4 out of 10. Their special attack is good for when I needed it, but I rarely took advantage of it. For how well they performed overall, Oddish had a really slow start. Literally 35% of the whole speedrun, as I stated, was just spent training Oddish to level 21 and then Gloom to 28, just to be able to defeat some tough opponents who double resisted grass types. And there were plenty of those in this game. Pokemon like Zubat and Oddish were unbearably difficult in this run, and I had to rely on RNG to have sleep powder to keep them asleep. Once I got Acid, Body Slam, and evolved Gloom into Vileplume, this speedrun picked up real nicely, and the Elite Four was very easy compared to how other Pokemon would handle it. So for how they performed overall, I'd give them a 5 out of 10. It was super slow beginning, grinding on trainers and wild Pokemon, but once I got some better moves, the game sped up so much, which felt nice when I was doing this challenge. Overall, based on the previous 3 scores, I give the Vileplume line a 4 out of 10. Okay special attack, horrible speed, horrible moves, and just terrible to use in Gen 1 overall. I do not recommend using this Pokemon at all in a speedrun challenge, or even a simple playthrough for that matter, just not worth it at all. And that's all I got for you. If you happen to like this type of content and would like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. I will release one speedrun challenge video every 3 weeks, as well as my constant uploads of all my speedruns and speedrunning highlights. If you really like my content and would like to support me, then all you have to do is just join my Discord server and check out my other socials as well, below down in the description. With all that out of the way, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next speedrun.